Get ready as we dissect Kyle Busch leaving Joe Gibbs Racing and becoming a new part of Richard Childress Racing. We will discuss NASCAR sponsorships and discuss the implication of Busch's departure last year. And it will be told by his former teammate Denny Hamlin in an interesting podcast that he did. Welcome back to NASCAR Nation. Today we have an exclusive podcast with Denny Hamlin, who was Busch's teammate at Joe Gibbs Racing for years. In this podcast, Hamlin sheds light on the behind-the-scenes negotiations that led to Busch's departure from the team. According to Hamlin, Joe Gibbs tried to keep Busch, but the star driver's financial demands were just too high. So join us as we dive into the details of this fascinating story and get an inside perspective from Denny Hamlin himself. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more exciting NASCAR content. Let's get started. Kyle Busch's departure from Joe Gibbs Racing after 15 years caught many NASCAR fans by surprise. Busch had an incredible track record with the team, winning 2 Cup Series championships and around 50 races during his partnership with JGR. But what caused this seemingly successful association to come to an end? According to Denny Hamlin, Busch's departure was inevitable due to his impossible demands. Hamlin revealed that Busch's financial demands would have spelled the end for Joe Gibbs Racing if they had acquiesced. During a recent episode of the podcast, Actions Detrimental, Denny Hamlin shared, they lost a ton. That company would cease to exist if they had to pay Kyle what he was demanding, especially after losing, Mars.
This was a tough situation where, I think that it was a situation where they wanted him back. They lost a ton. That company would cease to exist if they had to pay Kyle what he was demanding.
Hamlin said, referring to Busch's primary sponsor's exit from NASCAR after the 2022 season. Despite Joe Gibbs Racing's attempts to secure sponsorship from Oracle for the 2-time Cup Series champion, the deal ultimately fell through. As a result, Toyota was willing to let Busch sign with another team, which could compile a portfolio of sponsors. The presence of Ty Gibbs, grandson of JGR team owner Joe Gibbs, as a potential replacement has raised doubts about the team's effort to retain Busch. It was at the time unclear whether JGR tried to keep Busch as much as they claimed. The differing approaches taken by the two teams in their pursuit of the same driver made it clear that one team was more eager to have Busch than the other. According to reports, just prior to the official announcement of Busch's move to RCR, the team's sponsors were reportedly enthusiastic about the prospect of working with the 37-year-old driver. Joe Gibbs said, "That is such a big deal for us. We spent 15 years together. I think 56 wins or something. Unbelievable." Following a lackluster race at Kansas Speedway, Kyle Busch was questioned about his motivation, to which he responded, "I'm not sure. I don't have anyone around me at the moment who is helping me with that." If you didn't know, he had made numerous comments indicating that he would not be returning to JGR, even though no official announcement had been made about his 2023 contract at the time. It was evident that Busch's time with the team was coming to an end. He spoke about wrapping up the 2022 season with Joe Gibbs Racing, acknowledging that the number 18 car would be driven by someone else in 2023. Following those statements, Kyle revealed that he would be joining RCR. Shocking news, of course, where he will be driving the number 8 in 2023. The announcement was made publicly by RCR during a press conference held at the NASCAR Hall of Fame. It appears that Gibbs was willing to make the partnership work, but the sponsorship issue proved to be insurmountable. Nevertheless, some argue that if both parties were truly committed to continuing their partnership, a 1-year deal could have been negotiated. In situations like this, all it takes is for one party to put their foot down and declare that the deal cannot work out. If Joe Gibbs Racing was that side, then they are solely responsible for what can be considered one of the most mismanaged silly season scenarios in recent memory. It's worth noting that Busch may have been the one to walk away from a 1-year deal, so the responsibility for the breakdown of the partnership cannot be solely placed on Joe Gibbs Racing. As Kyle's former teammate, Denny Hamlin, said at the start of the video, he confirmed that this disaster was the 37-year-old driver's fault and because of his greedy demands. It just would be impossible it would be a detriment to all the JGR teams. Denny Hamlin added, "They had to make a business decision to stay in business, right?" Hamlin expressed his frustration with Kyle Busch's demands for a high salary that ultimately led to his departure from Joe Gibbs Racing. As you can understand, while acknowledging that a good driver deserves to be compensated accordingly, Hamlin also emphasized that a driver's salary cannot consume the entire budget of the team. In the highly competitive world of NASCAR, teams need to allocate their resources wisely to remain competitive, and paying one driver an exorbitant salary can come at the expense of other crucial areas such as research and development or hiring additional personnel. While it's understandable that Busch would seek to maximize his earnings, it appears that his demands were too high for JGR to accommodate, and this led to the end of a successful 15-year partnership. The situation serves as a reminder of the delicate balance between paying drivers what they deserve and managing a team's finances to remain competitive in the long run. You see, when Joe Gibbs Racing failed to secure a new sponsor for Kyle Busch's car, the team was forced to watch as the two-time Cup Series champion explored his options for other teams to work with. With no new sponsor in sight, the team was unable to offer Busch a competitive deal, and this opened the door for other teams to swoop in with enticing offers. Sponsorship dollars are a crucial part of a team's budget and allow them to invest in technology, personnel, and other key areas. When a team is unable to secure a sponsor for a driver, it puts the driver in a difficult position, as they are forced to consider offers from other teams that can provide the necessary financial support. For Busch, this ultimately led him to depart from the team he had been with for over a decade and a half, highlighting the unpredictable nature of sponsorship in NASCAR and the impact it can have on a driver's career. At that time, motorsport reporter Adam Stern tweeted this out. Some at RCR Racing sponsors have indicated that they're open to working with at Kyle Busch, and the team is also out seeking new brands, sources say. A couple RCR partners encourage the team to sign him, while others are taking a wait-and-see approach. The saga of Kyle Busch's departure from Joe Gibbs Racing has been a major talking point among NASCAR fans and experts. The search for a new sponsor, the demands for high salary, and the eventual decision to part ways have left many wondering what could have been. But as the dust settles, it's clear that both parties are moving on and looking to the future. Kyle Busch is set to embark on a new chapter in his career with RCR, while Joe Gibbs Racing will be ushering in a new era with a new driver behind the wheel of the number 18 car. Let us know what you think about this in the comments below. And also, while you're at it, please consider subscribing and leaving a like on the channel.
Sponsored by Credit One Bank, and make a mark on where to start, finish all the way back through the tri-oval.